Happy morning, my dear children. Happy morning. Today we are going to discuss about that applications of Eligum diagram. What are the applications? The last class we discussed about some of the observation about the Eligum diagram. Today we have to discuss applications of Eligum diagram and also one more small topic about the electrochemical principle of metal energy. Okay. I think that three applications about the Eligum diagram, one by one we can be discussed. Please all of you take the note.
Today our learning objectives to learn about applications of the Eligum diagram. Applications of Eligum diagram. Here the applications of Eligum diagram main point is to help us to select a suitable reducing agent. Number one, select a suitable reducing agent, and second one, and it helps to select appropriate temperature range for reduction. These two applications. Okay, we can be learn about some examples. Okay, one of the example here, the reduction of metal oxide to its metal can be considered as a combination between the element used for reduction and the metal to combines with oxygen. Here one of the competition, that is element used for reduction and the metal to combine with oxygen. For example, I am taking zinc oxide is converted into zinc metal, that is here we are using carbon. Okay, what is the formula for zinc oxide? ZNO. ZNO on reacts with the carbon, we get zinc metal and carbon monoxide. Here zinc oxide is unstable as we compare to carbon monoxide, so it is a reduction is possible, that is zinc, we get zinc metal. Am I right? As per the graph, we can see a number of metals. I'm right. We have the positive slope. Yes or no? First, I am taking the two metals, that is about that zinc oxide and mercury oxide. These metals are lie on the upper part of the diagram. Am I right? This is an upper part of the diagram. Their decomposition temperature are 600 and 700 Kelvin. At 600 and 700 Kelvin, the both two oxides are decomposed. That means silver oxide is decomposed into silver and oxygen, and mercury oxide decomposed at mercury and oxygen. So what indicates that this oxide, that means silver oxide and mercury oxides, are unstable at moderate temperature. It is an unstable compound. So it decomposes on heating even in the absence of reducing agent. For this reaction, there is no need of reducing agent. Without the reducing agent, the silver oxide and mercury oxide are decomposed. Okay, without the reducing agent, the silver oxide and mercury oxide are undergoes decomposed. That is one of the main applications. Can you understand me? At first I told that Eligum diagram, that is we are selecting a suitable agent. Am I right? We are selecting a suitable agent, and which one have the high delta G value. Am I right? High delta G value, high negative delta G value. Which one have the high negative delta G value. Here what is the reason here means, without reducing agent, the silver oxide is converted into silver metal, and mercury oxide is also converted into mercury metal. Here the delta G naught value is positive. That's the main reason. Okay, delta G naught value is positive, but we are expecting delta G naught value is high negative. Okay, so there is no need for reducing agent. Second point, Elegum diagram is used to predict thermodynamic feasibility of reduction of oxides of one metal by other metal. Here, one metal can reduce to other metals. Okay, that is the main point. That means any metal can reduce the oxides of other metal. That must be located above it in the diagram. Okay, which metal is located on the above, that can be reduced all other metal. Okay, that is any metal can reduce the oxides of other metals that are located above it in the diagram. I am taking one of the example. Chromic oxide. The chromic oxide lie above aluminum. Am I right? That is lie above the aluminum. Here what is the meaning means, aluminum oxide is more stable than chromic oxide. Aluminum oxide is more stable than chromic oxide. What's the reason? Here chromic oxide is lie above that of aluminum. Okay. Here what is the meaning? Aluminum oxide is more stable than chromium. Here first you have to find the temperature of aluminum oxides and chromic oxide. Here, what is the temperature of chromic oxide? Nearly negative 500, okay, minus of 500. What is about the temperature of aluminum? This also nearly up to 900, am I right? Nearly up to 900. So which one have the high negative value? Aluminum oxide have high negative value as we are comparing chromic oxide. So one possibility, aluminum oxide have high negative value, and also chromic oxide lie above that of aluminum. Okay, that's a two condition. Okay, and we can be discuss about one of the equation. Which equation is possible? That is chromic oxide. What is the formula for chromic oxide? Cr2O3 reacts with aluminum. We get chromium plus aluminum trioxide. We have to balance the equation. Okay. This reaction is possible. Okay, possible reaction. When we are writing the another reaction, Al2O3 combines with the chromium, the expected product is Cr2O3 plus aluminum. We have to balance the equation. But this reaction is not possible. Okay, so which one is the possible reaction? The first reaction is the possible. So what is the reason here? Chromic oxide lies above that of aluminum. Chromic oxide lie above that of aluminum. So the important point is, the second application, the important point is, any metal can reduce the oxides of other metal are located above it in the diagram. Any metal can reduce the oxides of other metal that are located above it in the diagram. Can you understand? What is about the first application? Anybody remember the first application? Which metal oxide I am taking the example? Silver oxide and mercury oxide. What's the reason here? They are occupied where? The upper part of the ligand diagram. Am I right? What is their decomposition temperature? 600 and 700 Kelvin. Am I right? What's the meaning here? These oxides are unstable. These are unstable at moderate temperature, and it will be decomposed even in the absence of reducing agent. That means what? For this metal oxide, that is silver oxide and mercury oxide, there is no need of reducing agent. Without reducing reagent, the oxides is converted into metal. Okay. Here, what about the second point? Any metal can reduce the oxide of other metal that must be located above it in the diagram. Okay. So, 2 point is over. Next about, we can discuss about the third point. Please look the Elegum diagram. Here, only one line have the negative slope. Only one. That is about that pink line. Am I right? That is about the carbon. The carbon line cut across the lines of many metal oxide. So all touching the many metal oxide. Am I right? Hence, it can reduce all those metal oxide at high temperature. Here, what is the favorable condition for the reduction of iron oxide by carbon? In the Elegum diagram, the formation of iron oxide and carbon monoxide intersect. Here they intersect, okay. Around 1000 Kelvin, when you are looking at the temperature, it is around 1000 degree Kelvin. That means approximately here is 800. Okay, 800. We are adding 273. Okay, 273 means you get around 1000 Kelvin. Am I right? Here, below this temperature, the carbon line lies above the iron line. Can you understand? Below the temperature, the carbon line lies above the iron line. So it shows that iron oxide is more stable than carbon monoxide. Can you understand? First we are looking about the blue color line. That is about the iron oxide. Iron oxide is below this temperature. Below this temperature, the carbon line lies above the iron line. Am I right? So which shows that iron oxide is more stable than carbon monoxide. Okay. So in this temperature, the reduction is not thermodynamically feasible. As based on thermodynamics, this temperature is not feasible. Okay. And one more point, when we are comparing to the carbon, above 1000 Kelvin, carbon line lies below the iron line. Okay. Above 1000 Kelvin, maybe 1200 like that. Okay, 1200 like that. Carbon lines lies above the iron line, and we are using here coke. Coke means we are saying that carbon, am I right? Coal, okay. Coke as reducing agent above this temperature. So just we are calculation. We are doing one calculation. What is about that calculation mean? free energy calculation. Okay, what is the calculation? Free energy calculation. We are confirmed that the reduction of thermodynamically is favored or not. Okay, we are doing one calculation. From the Elegum diagram at 1500 Kelvin, that is iron, that is Fe, reacts with oxygen. Fe is a solid state. Iron is the gaseous, oxygen is the gaseous state, gives iron oxide gas. We have to balance the equation. Here we are giving delta G1 value. For the first equation we are given delta G1 value, that is about minus of 350 kilojoules mole inverse. That's the first equation. Okay, delta G0 value for the conversion of iron into iron oxide. Second one, carbon, that's a solid state, reacts with oxygen gaseous, gives carbon monoxide gas. Here I am giving the value delta G2 value is equal to minus of 480 kilojoules mole inverse. Minus of 480 kilojoules mole inverse. That is about the second equation. Okay, listen all of you. These two equations are the metal reacts with oxygen, we get metal oxide. But we need that the conversion of metal oxide to metal. Am I right? Can you understand? The first two equations are metal reacts with oxygen. We get the delta G value. Am I right? Metal oxide and that delta G value. That's the theoretical value. But we are expecting the metal oxide is converted into metal. So I am reverse the reaction, first reaction. Okay, reverse the first reaction. So what is about that? First reaction reverse means that is a solid state. Iron oxide gives iron metal, that is also solid state, plus oxygen. Oxygen gas. You have to balance the equation. Oh, and right, I am writing that delta G value, delta G1, they are having positive. I am writing delta G1. So I am writing negative because it is a reverse reaction. They are having a negative value. I am writing the positive value. Okay, that is a plus 350 kilojoules mole inverse. That's the third equation. Can you understand me, my dear children? First two equations are the metal reacts with oxygen, we get metal oxide. But I need that one, the conversion of metal oxide to metal and ion. So I am reversing the first reaction. So metal oxide gives metal plus oxygen. Okay, I wrote that one. Now I am going to coupling the reaction. That is the reaction third and second reaction. Third and second reaction. This is a third reaction. Next I am going to write the second reaction as like, that is carbon reacts with oxygen. Carbon is a solid state. Oxygen gaseous state gives carbon monoxide. You have to balance the equation. I am writing the same delta G naught value, that is about negative 480 kilojoules mole inverse. Now couple the reaction 2 and 3. Okay, couple the reaction 2 and 3. So here which are the possibility can be cancelling. Opposite side can be cancelled. Oxygen can be cancelled. Am I right? Oxygen can be cancelled. So which one is remaining there? First one I write in the iron oxide FeO, solid state. We can write 2 FeO. Am I right? Plus 2 carbon gives 2 Fe plus 2 carbon monoxide gas. Okay, this can be written as delta G3 is equal to, have to subtract the value, that is about that first value, minus of 480 kilojoules, minus 350, we get minus of 130 kilojoules mole inverse. That's equation number 4. So in this equation we are looking there, all equations are having 2 moles, am I right? All reactant and product also, that is 2 FeO plus 2 carbon plus 2 Fe plus 2 CO, am I right? So this is, I think, that about that 2 moles. So what is about the 1 mole? Here the equation is about the 2 moles. What is about the 1 moles? The 2 moles, the value is negative 130 kilojoules mole inverse, am I right? What is about the 1 mole? The standard free energy change for the reduction of 1 mole of iron oxide is delta G3 divided by 2. If you have divided by 2, we get 1 mole. That is about that negative 65 kilojoules mole inverse. This is about the applications of Elegum diagram. We get a high negative value, am I right? Del minus of delta G kilojoules mole inverse about the first mole. Okay, anyhow, this free energy calculation is also confirmed that the reduction of thermodynamically favored. Okay. Next, about what are the limitations of Elegum diagram? What are the limitations of Elegum diagram? One of the first limitation is Elegum diagram is constructed based only on thermodynamic consideration. Okay, based on the thermodynamic consideration. It gives the information about the thermodynamic feasible. Okay, thermodynamically feasible, it is okay. It does not tell anything about the rate of the reaction. What is about the rate of the reaction? The common reaction, all of you know that one. Speed of the reaction. The reaction may be the fast or slow. Am I right? The reaction may be speed means going speed or low speed. Okay, am I right? But it does not tell about that rate of the reaction. And one more point, it does not give any idea about the possibility of other reaction. Okay, can you understand? So what is the first one? It is based on the thermodynamic consideration. It gives the information about the thermodynamic feasibility. Okay, thermodynamic feasibility. Okay. It does not tell anything about the rate of the reaction. The second point is this Elegum diagram is based on, we are saying about that graph. Am I right? We are using one graph. So the interpretation of delta G is based on the assumption. We are assuming the value. Okay, can you understand? Here, the delta G and the temperature, we are plotting in the form of graph and calculating, we get one graph. Am I right? That is based on only the assumption. Whether the reactants are in equilibrium with the products is not always true. Okay, this is only based on the assumption. That is one of the limitation. Okay, so try to learn, my dear children. The application, any two application is enough. Okay, Not all. Try to learn any two application. Okay. Second one. Next we can be learn about that electrochemical principle of metallurgy. Electrochemical principle of metallurgy. Here, the thermodynamic principle is similar to electrochemical principle. This is similar to electrochemical principle. Here also we are finding the applications of metallurgical process. First one, if you are taking the active metal, which are the active metal? Sodium, potassium, aluminum, etc. Am I right? These are some active metal. The reduction of oxides, the active metals such as sodium, potassium, aluminum by carbon is thermodynamically not feasible. Such metals are extracted from their ores by using electrochemical method. Some of the ores also, some metals, for example, here we are using aluminum metal. One of an aluminum metals also we are used as based on the electrochemical extraction. One of the aluminum metal that is called as a Hall-Héroult process. Aluminum is extracting. Am I right? Here, what is the technique here applying here means, which are the technique we are applying means, metal salt, for example, aluminum. Okay, or we take another one metals, maybe copper or silver or gold, zinc, etc. Anyone metals salt are taken in a fused form or the solution form. Fused form or the solution form. The metal ion present can be reduced by treating with some suitable reducing agent or by electrolysis. So, metal salt are taken in a fused form or the solution form. This metal ion present can be reduced by treating it with someone reducing agent or by electrolysis. Anyhow, here also Gibbs free energy change for the electrolysis process. We are giving an expression that is about the delta G naught is equal to minus of NFE. Delta G naught is equal to minus of NFE. Delta G naught means it is a standard condition. Okay, standard condition. What is about the N means number of electrons are involved in the reduction process. N. That is a small n, okay? It's the number of electrons involved in the reduction process. F is, we are saying the Faraday. Faraday means it is one of the constant value. Faraday. And about the E naught is the standard electrode potential of the redox couple. Listen, if there is only one condition, if E naught is positive, then the delta G is negative. Don't forget that. Okay, if E naught is possible, the delta G is negative. And the reduction is spontaneous. Anyhow, one of the redox reaction is planned. How we are planning means, EMF of the net redox reaction is positive. We are planning the EMF of the net redox reaction is positive. Here, what is the main content means? When more reactive metal is added to the solution containing less reactive metal ions. Can you understand? I am taking one solution. That solution having more reactive metal. Example is copper. I am giving the copper. That solution containing copper metal. That is copper is, we know that on more reactive metal. The copper reactive metal is added to the solution containing less reactive metal ion. So what happens? The more reactive metal will goes into the solution. Can you understand? When more reactive metal, that is copper, is added to the solution containing less reactive metal ions, the more reactive metal will goes to the solution. For example, I write the equation. Copper, that's a solid state, CuU. We are adding silver ions, Ag plus in aqueous state, okay, gives copper metal is converted into copper ions because it is a more reactive. Copper metal is converted into copper ions and we get silver metal. Okay. Next I am taking zinc and copper. Zinc and copper, we are comparing zinc and copper. Zinc is the less reactive metal, zinc is the more reactive metal, copper ions is the less reactive metal. As we are comparing zinc and copper, okay. Zinc and copper, zinc is the more reactive metal, copper is the less reactive metal. When we are reacting these two, we get zinc ions and copper metal. Okay, first you have to write copper, Cu plus Ez2 plus ion. Here copper is a less reactive metal, zinc is the more reactive metal. Clear? Can you understand? First equation, copper is a more reactive metal, silver is the less reactive ion. The product side, here copper is the more reactive ion, zinc is the zinc metal, am I right? Second reaction, copper is the, as we are comparing copper and zinc, copper is less reactive, zinc is more reactive. So what is here I give? More reactive metal is added to the solution containing less reactive metal ion. The more reactive metal will go into the solution. The more reactive metal will go into the solution. Okay. So today we discuss about that, the applications of Elegum diagram and the electrochemical principle of metallurgy. What is about the first application? Once again, please recall that one. At least you have to thoroughly any two application. That is enough, okay? The first one is the formation of silver oxide. Okay, formation of silver oxide and mercury oxide is lie in the upper part of the diagram. Their decomposition temperature are 600 and 700 Kelvin. Am I right? Don't forget that, the temperature also. For this reaction, the conversion of oxide to metal, no need of reducing agent. That's the first one. The absence of reducing agent, these metals undergoes decomposition on heating. Okay. Second one, the important point is about that any metal can reduce the oxides of other metal that are located above it in the diagram. For example, chromic oxide and aluminum oxide. Here, aluminum oxide is more stable than chromic oxide. What's the reason here? Formation of chromic oxide lies above that of aluminum. Okay. That's all. My dear children, you have to learn any 2 points about the applications of diagram. applications of Elegum diagram. Okay, select any 2 points, and this I am giving the assignment. Anyhow, today assignment, write any 2 applications of Elegum diagram. Write any 2 applications of Elegum diagram. Okay, any 2 applications. Thank you all of you. Thank you. Have a nice day.